The Whispering Woods had always been shrouded in a dark, foreboding reputation in our small town. Nestled on the outskirts, it was a place whispered about in hushed tones, a forest that hid secrets darker than the shadows it cast. It was said that those who entered might never find their way back, lost to the abyss that lay within. I was a young woman, driven by a thirst for adventure and a longing to escape the monotony of my life. The dreary routines of daily existence had left me yearning for something more, something beyond the borders of our sleepy town. It was this longing that lured me into the heart of the Whispering Woods, to discover the malevolent mysteries that lay in wait. My journey into the Whispering Woods began on a gloomy, overcast morning. I kept my plans a well-guarded secret, for I knew that the townsfolk would do anything to deter me from venturing into the forest they believed was cursed. Armed with a backpack filled with essentials and an unsettling sense of trepidation, I took my first step into the abyss. The forest greeted me with a haunting silence, the air heavy with the scent of decay and the distant echoes of mournful wails. There was no sweet serenade of birdsong, only the eerie rustling of decaying leaves that sent a chill down my spine. It was as if the forest itself recoiled from my intrusion. The sky above was a canvas of ominous, rolling clouds that blotted out the sun, casting an oppressive gloom over the shadowy woods. I was now ensnared in the abyss, with no turning back. As I ventured deeper into the Whispering Woods, I was confronted by a chilling realization. The forest was far from welcoming. The towering trees loomed like ancient sentinels, their gnarled branches reaching out like skeletal fingers, desperate to claim a new victim. There was a pervasive silence that enveloped the woods, a suffocating stillness that seemed to echo with the ghosts of countless souls that had ventured here and never returned. The air was thick with a sense of impending doom, as if the very ground beneath my feet conspired to swallow me whole. There were no signs of life, no cheerful bird song, only the distant howls of unseen creatures that sent a shiver down my spine. The forest had its own malevolent presence, and it made its disdain for me abundantly clear. As I trekked further into the abyss, the sinister atmosphere of the woods grew ever more oppressive. I felt a pair of eyes boring into the back of my head, and when I turned, I was met with the penetrating gaze of a fox. Its fur was a matted, sickly gray, and its eyes gleamed with an unnatural malevolence. The fox did not shy away from me, but instead circled me, its movements calculated and predatory. It seemed to be a harbinger of doom, a silent omen that had appeared to guide me deeper into the abyss. I watched in horror as the fox led me along treacherous, unseen paths, its eyes never leaving me. It was as if it reveled in my fear, in the knowledge that I was lost in the grasp of the Whispering Woods with no hope of escape. As the night descended upon the forest, the horrors of the Whispering Woods began to reveal themselves. The once silent woods came alive with a sinister orchestra of eerie sounds. The rustling of leaves transformed into a cacophony of disembodied voices, their words filled with malevolent intent. The trees swayed in time with the haunting melody, their branches reaching out to grasp at me with skeletal hands. The air was thick with the stench of decay, and the very ground seemed to shift beneath my feet, as if the abyss itself hungered for my soul. Unearthly creatures emerged from the shadows, their eyes gleaming with hunger. The forest's macabre chorus surrounded me, closing in from all sides, their voices a discordant symphony of terror. As I stumbled deeper into the abyss, I became increasingly aware of the whispers that echoed through the woods. These were not the gentle, enchanting murmurs I had hoped for, but instead, sinister, taunting voices that seemed to originate from the very shadows themselves. The whispers promised horrors beyond imagination, secrets that would drive a person to madness. They filled my mind with dark, grotesque visions, each more horrifying than the last. It was as if the forest reveled in my fear, feeding on my terror like a ravenous beast. I clutched my head, desperate to drown out the insidious voices that threatened to consume my sanity. The abyss of the Whispering Woods was a prison of my own making, and I was its captive. As I journeyed deeper into the abyss, I came upon a clearing bathed in an eerie, sickly light. In the center of the clearing, a grotesque spectacle unfolded. Animals, twisted and deformed, danced in a nightmarish frenzy. The creatures bore little resemblance to the innocent beings of the natural world. They were grotesque parodies, their eyes vacant and soulless. Their movements were a grotesque ballet, a dance of the damned, and their cacophonous laughter filled the air. I watched in horror as the animals cavorted, their limbs contorted in unnatural ways. It was a nightmarish performance that defied all reason, a grotesque mockery of the beauty of nature. In the heart of the abyss, I came upon a malevolent entity that sought to bind me to its sinister purpose. It was a towering, shadowy figure, its form shifting and twisting like smoke. It spoke to me in whispers, promises of unimaginable power and unspeakable horrors. The entity extended its inky hand, and I realized that it was offering me a pact, a connection to the malevolence that lurked within the Whispering Woods. With a sense of impending doom, I placed my hand in its grasp, sealing a dark covenant that would forever alter the course of my life. Emerging from the abyss of the Whispering Woods, I was forever changed by the horrors I'd encountered within its depths. The townsfolk regarded me with a mixture of terror and suspicion, sensing that I had been touched by something beyond their comprehension. I had become a prisoner of the Whispering Woods, a vessel for its malevolent intent. The forest had chosen me, and I had no choice but to heed its insidious call. The abyss had consumed my soul, and I was forever bound to its dark purpose. I was now the guardian of the Whispering Woods, but my role was not one of protection. I was tasked with perpetuating the malevolent mysteries that lay within, a pawn in a game of darkness that defied all reason. The forest's curse had taken hold of me, and I was forever haunted by the horrors I had witnessed within its depths. I walked the line between the known and the unknown, a cursed guardian of the Whispering Woods, forever trapped in the abyss of fear.